name's Sam Weisberg. I'm a member of the wine staff here at France 44 Wines and Spirits, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the wines you're going to be drinking today and a little bit about us at France 44 and how we're connected to Hennepin Healthcare and why we're supporting this drive to get new art up in the East Lake Street Clinic. We are a community-focused business here at France 44. Whether that means supporting our homeless neighbors at the Lake Harriet encampment last summer or doing fundraisers for various organizations around the metro area, we try to give back wherever we can because we feel like that's our obligation as a successful business in the metro area to reinvest in our communities that give us so much love and support for the work that we do. There's a deeper connection here as well. A lot of our staff members do live in South Minneapolis, including in Powderhorn Park or Phillips neighborhood, neighborhoods that are directly served by the East Lake Clinic. This is directly supporting our staff members in a tactile way, beautifying their community clinic, making it a space where they can receive affordable health care and making the neighborhoods that we serve and that our staff members live in more livable and just and fair. I want to tell you a little bit about the wines you're going to be drinking today. The first wine that you're going to be drinking today is the Domaine Carrette Mâcon-Milly-les-Martins. Domaine Carrette is the producer here, and Mâcon-Milly-les-Martins is going to be the sub-region of Burgundy in France that this wine is coming from. The first word there, Mâcon, that is the larger region, and so the Mâcon is going to be kind of a warmer spot in the southern part of Burgundy. This is really an area known for its Chardonnay in particular. It tends to make a slightly riper, richer style of Chardonnay, one that is maybe a little more approachable if you're more of a California Chard drinker. Typically, these wines do not see a huge amount of new oak. Instead, they're going to be using neutral oak barrels, and so you're not going to be seeing quite as much of that vanilla butterscotch flavor on a wine like this as much as you might say on a Southern Hemisphere Chardonnay or something from a warmer spot in California. You will begin to see a little bit of those kind of tropical fruit flavors that Chardonnay is known for. Maybe a little bit of mango or pineapple on the palate, leaning into some richer kinds of flavors that you typically wouldn't see from a spot farther north in Burgundy like Chablis or anywhere else on the Côte de Nuit. They are also in the process of converting to organic viticulture, which is pretty rare for Burgundy. This is not an area where it is easy to grow grapes, and abandoning kind of chemical fertilizers and chemical treatments in the vineyards can be a risky move, but they are really doing their part to try and reduce the amount of pollution that they make in the area and really improve the soil for future generations. So we were really impressed by that. We also think it's just a killer value of a Chardonnay. Really tasty and very friendly with a lot of different foods. The second wine you're going to have today is a In Sheep's Clothing Cabernet Sauvignon. So, In Sheep's Clothing is a project from Andre Mack, and Andre is probably one of the cooler wine people in the country right now. He is a black winemaker, which honestly we do not have enough black winemakers working in the US, and Maison Noire, his project, is one of the few black-owned wineries in the country. Andre is kind of an idiosyncratic winemaker. His wines are similarly unique. All of them are really meant for easy, early drinking. Andre tries to make wines that are really approachable in their youth, not stuffy things you have to put in a cellar for a long time, and also affordable to a really wide range of wine drinkers. This cab is like a really good example of that. It is from Washington, mostly from the Columbia Valley. It's aged in 25% New French oak, and so similar to a California Cabernet Sauvignon or a Napa Valley cab, you're going to have some of those same kind of toast and vanilla flavors coming through, especially kind of on the finish. One thing that you'll notice about this is that Washington cabs tend to have a little more spice to them, a little more of a savory note going on, and not as much of that kind of dark, jammy fruit. There is still a lot of nice kind of plum and black fruit here going on, but it maybe is a little more lifted, a little more reflective of that cooler climate atmosphere that you have in Washington. Hopefully you enjoy the wines, and hopefully you can do your part to support all the beautiful art that is soon going to be displayed in the East Lake Clinic. We are so happy that we are able to support the beautification and the creation of a really important healthcare setting. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Lynette Santos. I am the front desk lead PSC here at Eastlake Clinic, our newfound home. Blessed to be here. Being here has been a blessing, at the same time just a remembrance of where we came from. Our home clinic that was unfortunately looted when everything had hit COVID, the George Floyd protest. We actually got hit pretty hard. You have to figure we are here every day, Monday through Friday, more than home most of the time of our lives, to not having our home, because this is our second home, is work. It was hard. It was hard for us to look at each other as co-workers and the staff, and honestly felt it built our relationship much stronger. I don't feel like they're just co-workers now. They're co-family. It's crazy. I've never been in a place where you have to start from nothing and actually just ordering stuff and putting things in the room and setting up. It's a wonderful experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but I don't think that if we didn't fail, we didn't know what succeeding will feel and look like, and we're living the dream right now. We're all still here together. We didn't drop anyone. Everyone is still as a team, and everyone is still collaborating together to figure out things every day. And it's been a true blessing to be able to be part of this and part of the journey. I won't trade it for none in the world.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Coca. Welcome to our Eastlake Ashes to Art event. We are just so happy to be here, so grateful. It has been a long road here. There has been tragedy and then this rising from the ashes of this beautiful space. We are so excited about what this newness and transformation may bring. It will really be supportive for the community that is here. The staff are so engaged and have been connected with each other through this whole change and transition, and now have the opportunity to be together and to make this happen. And the art is a manifestation of the spirit of possibility, potential, and making a change. We're very excited for the possibility of a new healing space. The Eastlake area is rich with culture, groups, ethnic groups, artists, and art makers. So one of the things that we have modeled has been having patients, staff, myself, other staff members be on the selection committee, have their voice, have their ideas and reflections on what makes them feel supported, healed in the form of art. And now I have the pleasure of introducing Mariela Admegali-Tolan, who has been a staff member here for 18 wonderful years and is our beloved community health worker.
Hi, I'm Mariela Admegali-Tolan, Mari, and I'm a community health worker here at the Eastlake Clinic. I was lucky to participate in the art selection committee for this clinic, the Eastlake Clinic, and it was really exciting because we have a brand new clinic and we have all these empty walls that we can fill up with art from the community, and it was really a different experience because I've never been involved with art this way, and I was able to understand what the message was behind the art from the artists. We are trying to, have artists from the community to represent the patients that come to our clinic. So it was really nice to see all those pieces of art with different styles, different colors, and it was just a very nice experience. I had the opportunity of meeting two of the artists and really, have a conversation with them about the piece that they are going to offer to us. And you could see clearly the passion that they were putting into this work, especially because they are members of our community, and one of them is also very connected to our clinic. She was very excited to provide her artistic talent to this clinic because it kind of touches her heart. So it was really nice to see that. So enough about me. You guys now are going to hear about some of the artists that we've chosen for this project. And we're really, really excited about this. And I hope that you are too. When you hear their passion for the work and how they like to collaborate with the community and with the clinic, and a way of making our patients feel very comfortable and inviting to our new East Lake Clinic.
Hi, I'm Megan Moore. I'm a painter. Right now I'm in my studio over at the Northrop King building. You can see a piece in progress right behind me, and then back on the wall is some finished work. My relationship to the clinic is the proximity of my home. Longfellow's my neighborhood. I have lived there for more than 10 years. And before that, when I first moved to Minneapolis 20 years ago, I lived on the other end of Lake Street. I feel so lucky to have landed where we are, especially after experiencing COVID and the uprising in that neighborhood. I learned so much and made such great connections with my immediate neighbors. Creating art is so fulfilling to me. Painting specifically, just the motion of working with paint. I love the freedom of expression and the autonomy of the experience. My work supports wellness, not only my own wellness, but that of the people who view my work, people who commission my work. That feeling of calm, it kind of has you slow down and think about things. That happens for me and the viewers of my work as well. I'm really excited that in the last couple of years, I've had some opportunities to do murals and just feel like make that next level of connection to my immediate community. And it's really validating and I love it. I'd been experimenting with this idea of using subject matter to create a pattern across the surface. And that was my approach to composition. And it stemmed from, so this is the third in a series with this leaves and fish as the concept. I hope it makes the viewer feel a sense of calm, like maybe it makes them slow down a little bit and contemplate. It's easy to look at, but there's details to see as you look at it longer.
I'm Tomas Alvarez. I'm a photographer. I live in the Twin Cities and have lived here my whole life. When I think about this area, I think about my cousin's place. When I would come visit, the difference between where I lived and visiting this area was the community. We could walk outside and we would see a whole bunch of people just playing in the street, and all the doors were open. There was just an openness that was palpable. You can feel it, you could see it, and that was the one thing that I kind of envied. Artistically, I have yet to visit George Floyd Square, just because it carries a lot of weight. We were the same age at the time. It's a little heavy. So it's one of those things where from afar, I will watch, but I'll make my way over there slowly. Being a photographer, I have a lot of friends that are photographers that go running into those moments to document those moments. And sometimes, you feel for the community and you wonder, how does it rebuild? How does it come back? I think one of the biggest struggles in art is trying to convey that sense of space, that sense of being somewhere. So my typical process, I will go out and I'll sit along the shore and just kind of soak it all in, let my daily stuff disappear. The Silver Bay piece, that one, again, that's a very, very tranquil spot. It's a place called Black Beach, and if you go there, when I arrived that morning, it was 5 o'clock, I couldn't see anything, so it was myself and what I assumed were a bunch of bears kind of roaming around in March, and all I could hear were the waves just lapping up quietly. And when I, hooked up my camera and got everything kind of connected and ready to go, I took a couple pictures and realized that I would be there until sunrise. What I hope to convey with those pieces and with all the work that I do is that sense of peace, a sense of just sort of getting away. Sometimes coming to a clinic isn't always the happiest sort of thing, so having a moment of being able to pause, right? So I'm always looking for someone to just pause and relax and just kind of lose themselves for a moment in a picture. And the fact that they're metal, it'll be so much easier to do because they're so vibrant. As soon as I heard about the project, I kind of jumped on, because how many times you get the opportunity, how many times are you in the place where you can provide something that might be of value that somebody wants to see? So as an artist, you want to, I don't want to say leave a legacy, but you want to have an impact. And if you can have an impact in places where you've been or areas that you've visited frequently, to have that, that's really an honor to just be able to provide some sort of sanctuary for somebody at any point in time, but in a space that you've always wanted to sort of be in.
Hi, I'm Zamara Kuyuan. I'm one of the artists that has artwork hanging up now in the East Lake Clinic, or will. I live in South Minneapolis. I've lived in South Minneapolis for, I'd say, most of my life. My grandparents lived a block off of Lake Street, a little bit further east, but that's where they lived. So this is like a lot of childhood memories for me. We used to go on walks with my grandma to all the parks in our wagons and go to see the library and get books. So it holds a lot of really dear memories from my childhood that way. Then later on, as a young adult, I had friends that lived in the neighborhood, so I was always over there. So I grew up here in the Twin Cities at a time when there were like hardly any other Latin Americans, especially in Minneapolis. And if we wanted special groceries or food to make Guatemalan meals, we would have to go to West St. Paul. So it was really awesome when a whole bunch of Latin American and Mexican supermarkets opened up on Lake Street. So we love that. Still go to get our plantain leaves for tamales at Christmas at the various supermarkets on Lake Street. And then my kids, they both went to South High School, which is just a few blocks away from where the clinic is. So, I draw my inspiration primarily from my own ancestral roots on my dad's side of the family. We're de-indigenized Highland Maya from Guatemala. And so I really draw a lot of inspiration from Maya history and stories and cosmology. And artwork, right? Because the writings and the artwork that the Maya have produced throughout time for thousands and thousands of years are extremely visual and colorful, and they tell so many stories. And so that is really what inspires me right there. My use of color comes from just growing up surrounded by Guatemalan textiles. We have friends and family that are involved that they're weavers, right? They're involved in the indigenous textile industries in Guatemala. And so I think that's really what informs my color use. I'm inspired by women. I'm inspired by our strength. The fact that the women, we keep it going. We're the seed keepers. A lot of my work has to do with calls for social justice, talking about the truth of especially colonization, right? And what we as Indigenous people have lived through for the past 500 years. I'm so honored that My artwork will hang there. I'm so honored that the community, because I assumed that was primarily Latinx since it's in the neighborhood, that people will be able to see themselves, and that so many people, from what I've heard, draw inspiration and hope from my artwork. So that's really what it's all about, is to evoke that sense of pride and beauty and the fact that we are resilient and survivors despite all of the hardships that our people have been living through in their home countries. So the piece that is going into the East Lake Clinic is actually a print, an archival print of the original. And it's called La Siembra, which in English means the sowing or the cultivation. And in that piece, we see a grandmother, and she is sowing the seeds of the future generations. And so she's putting those seeds, those ideas into the earth and hoping that one day that they will, you know, the sprouts will burst through the soil and blossom up into those beautiful flowers that are around her. We all need these things for healing, right? There's a lot of trauma, a lot of hurt and pain. And so if we can take that and turn it into something beautiful and surround ourselves with those ideas and to be reminded that that's who we are and that we should never let the outside world get us down. That's the most important thing for me to evoke in my viewers.
Christopher George here. You can call me Chris. I am the Senior Director of Primary Care for Hennepin Healthcare. And my responsibility is all of the clinics in the community. And I am so thankful for all that you guys are doing to help out the East Lake Clinic. In 2020, after the social unrest and the clinic was destroyed, it was devastating for us. We had 2 other clinics that were impacted, but with the loss of the East Lake Clinic, we took that especially hard because our staff is so dedicated to the community. You know, when the clinic was destroyed, the first thing that the staff said was, "We're not leaving our community." And they really fought to stay there. And we are so thankful for our leadership. And, you know, we had Jennifer DeCabillas as our new CEO coming in. She really came in and the fire was under her feet with everything that happened, COVID and then the destruction of the clinic. And we are appreciative of her commitment to us because she really went to bat to get this clinic up and running. So we are committed to staying in the neighborhood for the community. We've built the new clinic. We've shown the community our commitment. We've had a lot of individuals that have shown them their commitment to us. At this time, we have 3 out of 16 exam rooms left to be sponsored. And also there are a few remaining art sponsorships that are also left. But most importantly of all, you can donate to help this clinic out. I want to thank everyone that showed up today. I want to thank everyone that has already donated, that have sponsored exam rooms, that have purchased art pieces to go up in the clinic to show not only the staff who are committed to the community, but the patients that we are committed to them. I just can't say enough about it. Again, thank you all for everything that you've done to help us out. As I call the East Lake Clinic, it's the little clinic that could. And they just continue to be there and doing the best that they can for their community, the patients. And we expect to be there for quite a long time. Thanks again, and hope you have a great evening.